I mean, I'll ask you point blank. Are you one of the greatest skateboarders to ever live? Do you
I don't
embrace
even know
that?
how you answer that.
I know. Well, I'll put you on the
The,
spot, but it's funny just in terms of because you're such a it seems like your humility and your skill are much more separated than a lot of those other individuals that we've talked about. I mean, like LeBron and Jordan. Let's start with Jordan in particular. Like, I don't think anyone would ever accuse Jordan of being like a shy, overly humble individual. You know, what I mean, that's
uh-huh.
such a product of who he is. Whereas, like, you don't come off that way. You know, and
Well,
what
thank you. Well, I also will say what I do, skateboarding, it's not built off competition. It's not inherently a competitive sport. You know, you might compete with yourself and push yourself to try and outdo what you did before. And of course, there is competitions that I've entered and skated in, but I had to learn how to become a competitor in that aspect because it wasn't an innate instinct. So in skateboarding, it's not built on like trying got to be the best. Like in basketball, like the game itself is
built
built
into
on
it.
winning,
Yeah.
on being a winner. And so these guys have been playing ball since they were little kids, I assume. And over the years, you just build that, and that's just like that's the culture of most athletic endeavors. So I guess in skateboarding, yeah, it's just it's I liken it more to like music, where like it's not there is no who's the
How do you
best, who's
judge
the
speed? Is
worst.
Jimi Hendrix
Exactly.
better than
And
Bob
Beethoven.
Dylan or who
Yeah,
Beethoven?
exactly.
Yeah, it's
You know what
not
I mean?
looked at in the
So
same way.
that's how I think skateboarding is. So to say like, am I one of the greatest skateboarders ever? Maybe to some, maybe not to others. Yeah. So and there's no right or wrong answer. It's just like how you would approach music. It's just based on off of taste and preference.
So the metrics for judging that question are a lot more straightforward in basketball than in skateboarding.
Right, because you can actually take stats and be like boom, 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 boom. And even then, people still will argue it. All the time you see on Sports Center, like the
Yeah,
guys are
yeah, yeah.
arguing back and forth on who they think this. Even then, it's not a clear, defined answer, but you at least have statistics to go off of. And so, but at the end of the day, it's preference. So, it doesn't serve me to concern myself with that question or where I rank.
Well, do you appreciate the competitive aspect of skateboarding, or is that something that you've just had to learn to evolve to be, the
No,
place where you are?
I've actually discovered that I am a competitive person. Um, I like that challenge of like right here, right now, do this trick, land it or don't for all the marbles. You know what I mean? Like I like that challenge to say like, hey, on that day, skating against all these other skateboarders that I respect and believe are the elite skateboarders of our time, I was able to on that day uh, you know, outscore them or whatever. The judges who judged that contest felt I skated the best that day. Um, that's a great honor and something that feels good to accomplish. Because when you're street skating, there's none of that. It's like, all right, I'm trying this trick. I could try for 5 hours until I get it. Like that's a different type of challenge. That's a mental battle, physical battle type challenge, and that I really enjoy as well. So they're two different things, two different aspects, but I've come to learn that I am competitive. Like when I play basketball with my friends every day, before we skate, we warm up, we play this game called 8 Up. And I'm super competitive with that. And in that, I will not be humble. I will talk shit because that's just the
That's
fun
part
of it
of yeah.
with your friends. Like if I don't know you that well, I probably won't talk shit with you. But like if you're with your people, and or like just anything. If I'm playing beer pong, I want to win. I want to stomp you. I want, like so. Yeah, it's when it's something that's not important.
Of course.
Like I'll be competitive for the fun of the moment.
Is that a personality trait that's developed over your years, or is that something that you exhibited even before skateboarding? Were you a competitive person as a young kid?
Uh
Because I mean,
Not
I'll just put it in the
necessarily.
context of like, I've talked to Kelly Slater about this, and I don't think anybody on earth
He's
would
got to
accuse
be
him of
super
not being the
competitive.
most competitive person you've ever met. Whether it's
Right,
about
right,
like
right,
who's getting the most likes on Twitter or
right.
pipeline, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So where do you fall on that spectrum?
Definitely nothing close to that. Which I don't know if it's good or bad. Maybe I would be much further along in my career if I were more competitive. I don't know, but
I think you're doing okay.
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. No, definitely nothing like that. If it's like a game or a sport, yeah, I'm gonna want to win. But then it only develops after it becomes like a routine for me. Like, say if it's like my first time playing darts with somebody, I'm not like worried about beating them. I'm just like getting the hang of it. But like for instance, basketball, when we play this game 8 up, it's kind of become with my friends and I the routine where like we start the day off. Like if we're at the skate park, we started off playing basketball. That's how we warm up, warm our body up, get moving, get going. And then it's been a few years of doing that. So now it's like, once it became a habit of like, all right, tomorrow I got you. Tomorrow you're not getting one shot on me. Like that's, you know,
Yeah.
then once I know it's part of my day to day, then it's like, all right, I gotta win. I gotta be the best. But with skateboarding, it was like, I want to be my best.
Oh,
sorry,
I
somebody
lost
was
you. Oh, that's
calling.
cool. No problem.
With skateboarding, it was like, I want to be my best, my personal best. I want to see what I can become, what I can do, how much better I can get from yesterday to today, you know?
Well, let me ask you this. So you're in some of Tony Hawk's video games in like the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a new version that's out. It's got a whole new crop of young skaters. Like, how does it feel to be, you know, viewed by someone as like this elder statesman of skateboarding? Like, is it strange to have been in the game long enough? You're still relatively young, but there's a
Yeah.
generation of skaters who grew up watching P-Rod, watching your clips, watching you.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It definitely feels strange to be at this phase in my career because um, I didn't realize how fast it goes, how time flies, you know? I spent so much of my time since when I started skating at 12 to when I became pro, just dreaming about becoming a pro. I never dreamt about like deep into my career. I just wanted to get there, you know? And then the fact that I was able to not only get there, but had this career that like I didn't even realize I was able to. Wasn't even know I could dream this far. What was what
What
ended
was
up happening?
possible?
You know, I just wanted to have a signature sneaker, signature board, and get free stuff and make a living. You know, and fact that not only did I get signature sneaker, but I got it on Nike and I got 10 of them. And I'm one of only the few to have 10 or more, or, you know, just all the endorsements that I've had, or X Games and street leagues, and being able to like be in video games and, you know, just travel the world and, you know, meet some of my heroes and become friends with them. It like all that other extra stuff, like blows my mind. So I don't even remember, sorry, the original question, but
No, I mean it's great. It's funny. I think most people that end up achieving their dreams, you know, whether it's becoming a pro skateboarder or getting to travel the world, I don't think anyone ever dreams about an exit strategy. You know,
right, there you
they
go.
dream about
That's what I'm
getting
talking about.
there. You know,
Yes. You just don't ever, I never thought about what life would be on the backside of it, or even to the point, what would it be after it when it's not something in my life, which is a weird place to be. But I will say, since in an athletic endeavor, every athlete has that arc. I will say, to be at this side of it, I'm grateful for the position I'm in at this point. You know, some people get towards a certain point and have maybe bitter feelings or regretful feelings or just whatever, you know, along the way that didn't click for them, or whatever leaves them feeling unhappy about it. And I'm grateful to not be in that position, especially with skateboarding, because like it's not typical. Like skateboarders don't earn money like other professional athletes. It's very minimal, and very few skateboarders actually get to a point where they make good money or great money. So a lot of times, unfortunately, you'll get skaters who now sponsors don't want to re-sign them, and the new kids are coming up and didn't really make
and
a whole lot of
they never
money,
set
didn't
themselves
save
up.
it,
Yeah.
didn't plan for it, and now they're got a chip on their shoulder, thinking like, well, you know, they screwed me over or left me out to dry, or whatever the case may be. It happens quite a bit, which sucks. And so not to